Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm doing okay, not great today. I guess I've had a little bit of an off day. I woke up with some vertigo and feeling a little sick to my stomach with that, but I'm doing a little bit better now. I just needed to find some sort of activity today. I had hoped to clean out a couple of closets. I've been cleaning out all my closets and cupboards every day. I've been picking one or two to work on every day that I'm not working, and just decided that moving around a lot probably wasn't a good idea. So I decided to pop on and do a little crafting. And for the longest time, I've been wanting to make something similar to this. I received this in some Happy Mail, and it was a bag topper. And it is made out of like a Dixie cup, I think, or like a cupcake muffin liner, cupcake liner, you know, muffin liner, whatever you want to call them. And I want to say that I got this from Ivy Ling on a bag, as a bag topper. So like a bag like this, and it was topped on top of it. And I was thinking that these also would make really cute page toppers on a journal. So here's like a coffee dyed paper that I have. And so I thought this would be really cute to pop on a page. You know, you might choose to do the same type of dangle or maybe something a little flatter on it. But I also thought it would be fun to have some of these in my stash ready to go. So I'm going to do a little bit of a mass make. And I've been looking for a long time for like white muffin liners or cupcake liners, and I haven't found them. They're always colored, but when I was cleaning my closet last week, I found these like craft colored ones, and I thought, well, those would work probably pretty well. This one looks like it was avocado dyed, and it's really pretty. Like I said, I want to say that it came from Ivy Ling, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They also would look really cute like on, like if you have some tall envelopes like these that I have, I think it would look really cute also on the top, popped onto one of those. So I was thinking of doing something like this, but maybe slightly bigger. And so I pulled out some different supplies on my desk. So of course, if you guys want to craft with me and play along, I'll kind of tell you about some of the stuff that you're going to need. And so that's, again, my inspiration. I'm just going to set that up here to kind of look at. You're going to need some cupcake liners or muffin liners, whatever you want to call them. And then to make them a little bit bigger, I was thinking I would fold them in half and then put them on top of some music paper. So you're going to need some music paper or like scrapbooking paper. You could also use a book page for that part of it. I also think I'm going to add a doily to mine. So I have some doilies sitting here. I have some cheesecloth. I have some other laces here that I cut apart off of a shirt a long time ago and that I'd like to use up. So I grabbed those thinking I could use those. I also have some pre-made snippets that I made a long time ago thinking maybe I could add those. I have eyelash trim. I have lots of little trays of goodies that I have pulled out of my stash. These are paper clips and some beads, some Happy Mail stuff I got. I also have like some digitals that I cut up a while ago, and this is from Sam Poole. I also have some other digitals and I'll show you guys this. Some other like paper cuts, some floral die cuts, some Tim Holtz stuff sitting next to me that I also have, and so I have that sitting next to me in case I want to take something from there. Like I said, I'm going to mass produce, so I'm going to do maybe a couple different styles of decorating. So I wanted lots of stuff near me. I have laces and trims. I have glue. I have my tacky glue. I have Fabri-Tac glue. I have a hot glue gun. I have some little smaller embellishments. Some other little embellishments that I just kind of pulled from my stash. There's doily pieces, you know, random laces and trims. So I have a lot of stuff sitting here to work on for these. And then also I have some distress ink because I'm going to distress my edges. Some of them I already started the other day, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video or not, but I decided to pop, like I said, I decided to pop on today. So yesterday what I did do, I only had about 20 minutes in my craft room, so I didn't really get a lot done on these. And what I just started doing is I just flattened my cupcake liner, and I folded it in half, and I just started inking the edges. So these have been inked, and so I have quite a few made here. I also took a piece of music paper and I kind of made them into circles, and I wanted them bigger than the cupcake liner because I was thinking, so if you fold them in half, and these aren't going to be perfect, I might have to tweak them a little bit. Like I said, I just kind of roughly made circles out of some of my music paper. So what I was thinking is I would put this on top as a layer, because that would still look cute as a page topper. And then I was thinking after I did that, I would fold one of my doilies on top of it. And I checked, I thought maybe I had some small doilies tea-dyed, but I don't. And I'm kind of feeling a little lazy right now to try and tea-dye a bunch of doilies. So I'm just going to leave them white. I think sometimes it's nice to have the contrast of the different shades. And so I'm going to put that on top. And so I do like that. And, you know, I might tweak how I've ripped some of these a little bit once I get going. And then from there, I'll go ahead and add some of those embellishments and decorate. So if you guys want to continue to kind of play along with me or craft with me, you guys can go ahead and do that. So, so like I said, the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and set all these up for the first little bit, and then we'll go from there. I better make sure I'm on camera here, so sorry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and fold some of these music sheets. I don't know exactly. I just kind of grabbed, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough or not, but I'll just play with what I have. And some of these I've already inked, like I said earlier, but I'll ink them a little bit more if they need it. And these music sheets just came from like an old like practice piano book that I had picked up at the thrift store, and I picked it up because the pages were already a little bit yellowed, which I kind of like that. It's a very rainy day here in Minnesota. We've had rain the last couple of days. It's kind of crazy. I've been looking forward to the sun getting out so I can get some stuff done in the yard on the days I'm around. This time of year, my husband and I do a lot of traveling for work. Right now I'm in Minnesota, but we also work in North Dakota, and we do, this time of year, we do some wildlife surveys, we do bird surveys, and so tomorrow, if all goes well, we'll be driving out again to North Dakota for a couple of days to do a couple of our wildlife surveys. Right now we're counting grouse leks, which are the birds, you know, little birds that they kind of do this little dance while they're trying to attract females. So we go out and look for these grouse leks. And we kind of know where some of them are, and we go out and we count how many are on the dance. We call them dancing grounds on the leks, and we count them. And then we also spend a little bit of time trying, you know, stopping every half mile or so and listening to see if we can hear any of them doing their little courtship stuff, just to try to pick up new ones. And so we do that, and then we also are doing pheasant crow counts. And so the pheasants make a crow noise, or that's what they call it, a bird noise. And so we also drive around, and we have a certain radius that we stop every mile, and we count how many we hear in a 2-minute time span. So those are the next kind of things what I'll be doing the next couple of days. And then we of course record like any miscellaneous type wildlife we see. If we see any animals that are an endangered and threatened species, we write those down. Any interesting birds that we hear, any migratory birds that are coming through. And so we do this work for a couple of different coal mines in North Dakota. They do above ground coal mining, so it's not like the underground stuff, but we do surveys in the areas before they mine just to kind of get a record of what's there. And then, and of course, if there's something really critical, some sort of critical wildlife habitat or something, they might have to change what their plans. But we also then survey once they've reclaimed the land. Once in North Dakota, once the mining is done, they have to bring the land back to the way it was. And so, you know, they plant, you know, native grasses and wildflowers and plant trees and stuff. And then so once the trees and stuff get established and the land gets going back again, we also go out and survey that. So that's just a little bit of what my job is for this time of year. There's other stuff we do for them too, with like trees and grassland, you know, grasses and stuff too. But this time of year it's the birding mainly, which is what I love doing. And so it looks like I have a couple extra circles. So I went ahead and I've prepped all of these. So like I said, I'm not quite sure how many we'll get done in this little bit of time. I probably should have started a timer or something so that I don't get too wild and crazy with time. And so next, like I said, I wanted to put doilies. So I'm going to go ahead and fold doilies and put those on top of each of these. And it'll just be nice to have some of these kind of pre-made. Like I said, some of them I'm going to decorate, and then I might just glue some of them together and just leave them like this. So then they're ready to go and I can decorate or add embellishments later once I kind of know what I want to do. Because of course, if you're like going to use these as page toppers in a journal, you might not want thick embellishments on them. But if you're using them as a bag topper for some happy mail or a gift to somebody, you can of course add, like, you know, more 3D items, more embellishments on them. So just something to think about as you're decorating them. And as usual in my videos, you guys, if I get quiet or don't talk a lot, I will fast forward through the parts where I'm not talking, because I know that gets kind of boring, or if I'm just gluing things, or I can stop the camera if I'm just mass gluing a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, just so you guys don't have to watch all of that. I'll probably glue everything once I kind of have it figured out what I want to put on top of stuff here. Or I might just glue them after I'm done putting the doilies on, I think, maybe. So this is kind of a fun little project if you just have part of a day to work on something. This is kind of, I think, a perfect project for that. And it also kind of builds up your stash if you're trying to build up your stash a bit. You could also, I think, put this on a side of a journal page too, instead of on the top. You could also, you know, use it as a side tuck too. So a couple different possibilities with these. I'll probably keep a couple of them for journals, but I think the majority of these I'm probably just going to use for bag toppers for a Happy Mail, because I like to decorate up my bags when I send stuff in bags to people in Happy Mail. So, and this is kind of a simple way to do that. Oftentimes I just attach some doilies or something on the top of the bag and do something similar, but like I said, I had come across, when I was putting my new craft room together, I had come across this piece right here that I had saved and was thinking that I needed to try and make some of those, but I was hoping, like I said, to find some white ones, some white cupcake liners, but I never did. So so what I'm going to do now, I think, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue all these down. And then some of them I might rip a little bit better if I don't like the way they look. Once I folded them, I might, you know, just rip them down. And then I'm going to go ahead and re-ink the edges a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. And then we'll go ahead and start start decorating. Like I said, I'm just going to use some tacky glue, and I'm just going to glue a little bit in between the layers on both sides. Of course, you don't want to, you know, glue it shut at all, but you can put glue in between these layers. Or why don't we glue one together, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest off camera. So let me make sure. I'm pretty happy with the way this one looks once I put it on to. So I think I'm good with that one. I don't need to ink any edges, more edges on this one. So let's go ahead and glue this one together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the little white doily. Like I said, I would probably, you know, in hindsight, it would have been nice to have had some tea-dyed doilies, but I just didn't feel like tea dyeing today. But I did feel like sitting here and crafting a little bit while I needed to do something sitting down. So that should work pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the ones on my desk, and then I will be right back. So I just finished gluing everything, and then I also went ahead and took my Distress ink. This is Vintage Photo, and I just kind of ran it on the doilies just to make them not so white, I guess. So I did all that, and the total number I have here is 13, but I think, like I said, I think I'm going to set some of them aside for later. I'm just going to do 8, and then the rest I'm going to just set aside just so I have some blank ones to do something later with if I want them. And we'll just see how many of these we can decorate together. So I'm just going to see here on the camera how many you guys can see. And I'm also going to decide, like this one I wish there was more music notes on it because that one looks kind of plain, but that's okay. Well, maybe I'll set that one aside for later. I'll switch that one out with something else. This one's kind of big, but let's see. So that one's actually too big for a page, so maybe I will rip that one down even more. So I guess that is something else to consider when you're creating these, is exactly where you're going to be putting them, if it's going to be for a page or for a bag topper. That one just felt really big compared to the other ones, so I'm glad I checked on that one. And I guess that might be something that, you know, if I don't add any decorations down there, you could probably still tear them down a little bit after you've made them if you need to. So again, let's just see how many I can get on camera here. So maybe that's how many we'll make, is how many ever I can get on camera. Yeah, that one's too big, so we'll just tear that one down also. Like I said, I want these just to be versatile, just in case I do want a couple of them for a journal page, but I think I'm going to plan on using most of them on the tops of bags and Happy Mail, but we'll see. This one seems kind of big too, so I'll go ahead and rip this one down a little bit. So maybe I'll grab one more, I guess, because it seems like these are all going to fit on camera. So let me find one that I like the look of. So this one might need to be ripped down a little bit too. All right, so it looks like those are all going to fit on camera nicely. So again, kind of what I was thinking is so I have all of these that I cut out from a shirt a long time ago. And so what I'm thinking again is I'm going to glue these down, and then I'll probably wrap them over the doily. So I guess since my doilies being, you know, very much covered, I probably wouldn't have had to have inked the edges on those. But I think I'm going to do this on all of these. It just, I've had these pieces in my stash for so long that I just need to start using up some of this stuff that I've cut up, and I just haven't done anything with them. So I'm going to put this on all of them. You know, if you didn't have this, you could maybe wrap like a lightweight doily or something over it, or maybe a piece of curtain that you've cut up, or a tablecloth if you're looking for something similar. And I'm just adding layers and stuff. If you're doing like a journal and you're concerned about how thick it is, you might want to skip this layer. So let's see, and I still have quite a few of these left. All right, so after I do that, then now they're all gonna probably be somewhat different. I know that all of them, and I'll have to ink the edges, but I think all of them I want some sort of little like sentiment or image or something. So on some of these, I think I'm just going to start off with a couple of, these are sample things, and I need to ink the edges on these yet. But I might just lay out a couple of them. That one says Paris. I like that one, so that one. There's a kind of a pink colored one. Maybe we'll do that. So I'll start with that on those. I'm gonna see what I have in envelopes here, just to see if I have any images maybe that I want to add. And so I have this folder that says vintage, and I think these ones are Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby, but I'm not 100% sure. I just want to see what's in here, if there's anything that, you know, might be fun to put on these. Just some older stuff, and I know I can't quite do all this on camera. My camera's not quite big enough, but you know, some of these actually I could just put. Yeah, none of those are really standing out to me. I don't know, does the key look nice? Maybe the key, I'll put the key on that one, just to use something from this stash. Ooh, I wonder about the violin, if that would, that might look nice on one of those. So let's put the violin on one of those, see if anything else. So I have this little folder here too, and it says Shabby Chic, and this is just kind of miscellaneous stuff I've gotten in like Happy Mail that I thought looks kind of like Shabby Chic stuff. And then also I have some like punch outs from like some cardstock stuff of a kit that I got that I used most of it but not all of it, that might look nice on here. So I like that rose, that's really pretty. Well, this one says Collect Beautiful Moments. I know I got that one from Handmade by Deanna Marie. I remember these pieces from a swap that we were in. So everything has some sort of image right now, and of course, you know, I have other stuff I could add, but if you wanted to, you could change out, like if you wanted to add a bird, I mean, that would be cute on some of these. You know, maybe I could add a bird, or I really like this flower too, so maybe I'll take this one off for right now. I can always add one of these other smaller little sentiments too if I want to on top of that image. So maybe I'll call that good. You guys could also use, I think, like I pulled out, I have some stuff from TaylorMade here, some digitals that I cut apart from a past project, you know, and I think like some of these vintage women, the smaller ones, would look really pretty on these too. So you could easily add those too. So maybe I should do that on at least one of these. Let's put her on that one. All right, I could probably keep on playing all day with just that stuff, so let's just leave this. And let's see, I do have some eyelash trim, which I could put that underneath a couple of these things. So I'm thinking maybe underneath, when I glue this down, some eyelash trim underneath that. That just adds a little extra something. So I'm going to cut some more of that and just see, you know, behind this little sentiment. I'd probably glue it down on that one. And I think around this other flower, that's going to look nice. And this one that says collect beautiful moments, I think I want to do that one also. So I think that's good. I have some cheesecloth, so let's put that under some of this other stuff. This is probably tea-dyed cheesecloth. So yeah, I think I like that underneath that sentiment, the Paris sentiment. Could add some underneath that one. And I think once I ink the edges of some of these, I think that's going to make it stand out really nice. I think underneath the violin maybe. Or the key. Let's see what that looks like. We'll put that one under the key and I'll cut another piece for under the violin. We'll do that. So now we just have the beautiful woman here that needs something, and I think she needs lace maybe underneath her, or I have some tulle, or I have some scrap lace. I think maybe a piece of the lace might work nicely under her. And this is just basic lace that you can buy by the yard, like at Hobby Lobby. So I think that looks nice on her, so that looks good. So what else? You know, probably some flowers or some other little doilies. I have some pieces of doilies on some of these. That was just an edging from a doily. Like I could still add a flower or something on that one. Let's see what else I have. I have some more edging from some doilies. This is some Battenberg. That one might look nice edged on this rose one. Let's see what that looks like. Again, these are just, you know, leftover pieces from past projects. I used this on a doily book that I made for my crafty friend Amy Love, and I had cut off part of it. So I think I like that on that one. That one's really pretty. Just trying to decide if I want to edge it the whole way. I think I'll just do part of it. So I like that so far. I think I like that the best. This one maybe still needs a sentiment too on it. Or this one's a year. Maybe I can put a year or something. That one maybe. Okay, what else do I have? So I have this fun little piece of snippet. And I think this would look cute under one of the sentiments, you know, either this one or that one. So let's put it under this one. You know, this one's kind of, like I said, one of those fun little projects that's great for just using up bits and pieces. Just trying to see what else I have here in my stash. I'm just digging through stuff. I have some like little connector pieces from some doilies that I cut apart. So I'll add that to a couple of things. What else do I have in my stash? So I have this bow that I made for something else and then ended up not using it. So what else could we add the bow to? I mean, that might look kind of pretty on that one, but I think I'd rather have white on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to set that aside. Oh, here's another bow that I made out of some edging from something that I cut it off of. So I like that better. I mean, that one might look kind of cute on that Paris one maybe. You know, this one almost looks finished to me. This one does, with just those couple things. Other than, you know, adding a paper clip to it. What else do I have that I took out? So I do have, in a swap I just had, someone gifted me, Judy gifted me these little envelopes, and she said she got them from somebody else. But what I thought was interesting about these is they had little letters in them. And so if anybody knows if this is like a digital or if this is a rubber stamp, to me this looks like a rubber stamp, just the way the ink is on here. And then they cut it out and made it into a little letter. And it almost looks like, you know, that there's a signature at the bottom of it. So if anybody knows if this is a digital or if this is a rubber stamp, like I said, Judy said she had bought it or had gotten it from somebody else and she didn't know. But if anybody watching this knows, I would love to know, because if it's a rubber stamp or a digital, I think that's super cute. And I would like to have a little tiny letter to use and stuff. I can make envelopes and I can reproduce that, but I don't know on this. So I think that's really cute. So I am going to use, she gave me a couple of these, so I'm tempted just to glue it in like that, but I might not do that. And I think this one, it says, would maybe look really cute with this collect beautiful moments. And maybe I'll change out the doily on this one, because I'm not, this was a connector piece, and I kind of like this doily now that I think I want to add this. I kind of like that look behind it. So, so that's really cute on that one. So that one maybe just needs a button or something. And then the other thing that Judy gifted me in that swap is she had this little like postage stamp. It's a digital. It looks like a digital from somebody. And so maybe that would look cute with that. So let's add that to there. What else do I have that I could do something with here? So I have this fun little trim. So I wonder if I could add that, just part of that, to this violin. You know, I kind of feel like the violin needs a sentiment too. Or something. You know, so maybe I'll put that one there. So I'm wondering too if I need something to go with the key, something extra on that one. You know, here's kind of a random number, maybe. I don't know. I'll set it there for a little bit and think about it. What else do I have? So I have this pretty little vintage lace. So maybe we could add that onto this one. So I like that. I have another like partial, I took this off as something that someone sent me in Happy Mail that they tied this, but I wonder if I can retie it. It's kind of a pretty little seam binding color. I do have some white seam binding scraps sitting here that I could add to something too. Just see what this looks like, if I can make a little bow or something out of this. Yeah, maybe that would... Oh, I kind of like it. I mean, I'd already put a lot of stuff on that one, but I kind of really like it on that one. So we'll just leave it there. What else do I have? She almost seems like she needs a flower or something, so I'll come back to that one. Or a piece of bling, maybe. Oh, here's a couple flowers here in my stash, or a little... What else do I have? I have this pretty little piece of lace too. Wonder what that one would look like. That doesn't look too bad on her, I think, so maybe I'll do that. What else do I have? So this one still needs something. That one needs a little something more. So I did pull out, I have some old vintage bingo pieces. So maybe that one would be maybe fun to add to this key one. I think that one would look okay with that color scheme. I have some wood buttons in here. I have some flat back pearls. So this is the one right here that I need to add something, and this one too. So I do have a piece of like this really pretty hand crocheted trim. So I wonder what that would look like. No, that doesn't quite look right. I don't like it on that either. What else do I have? So I have this little lace trim. I think I got this one from Craft Supplies for You. I like this one. It's just a snippet left. There always seems to be one or two problem children when you mass produce something, that you like everything until you get to one point and then it's kind of like... So I have this button right here. That one came from Angel Dreams Crafts Kim. It's a wood button. Just seems a little big for what I want to do. So what if let's see, because I do want, like I said, the eyelash trim underneath the word. What if I add a flower to that one too? Maybe, you know, a flower up there. I think that looks more finished, so I like that one. So now we just have this problem child to figure out. A button, or I have these fun little cameos. Maybe if I just change the orientation of this a little bit, maybe that'll help. Okay, that might help if I just change the orientation of that one. And then let's just add that right there. And so maybe I just need some sort of trim at the, you know, on this one. And that one might be, I might be able to call that one finished too. Just trying to see if this needs one more thing or not on the violin one. If it needs like a flat back pearl or a button. Maybe it needs a button. I gotta go grab those. So I have some jars of buttons. I have like a color jar. I have more neutrals, and these are like darker neutral color ones. So, trying to see if, you know, maybe a white or something would look, or more of a neutral colored one would look nice on that one. I think I like just a little, not so white, but not too dark. I think I like, well, no, I think I like that white colored one better. Of course, now I dumped it back in the jar, and I don't know where it went. Well, there's a nice, like, really vintage one. So that one will work for there. So let me think now if anything else here needs anything. I do have this little string of pearls, so maybe I can put that underneath there just to use that up. And this one, like I said, needs something on the bottom. Some sort of trim on this one. So I just have bits and pieces. Like I said, I'm just trying to use up partial pieces. This one has little bows on it. So maybe that would look cute wrapped around that one. Yeah, I think that one would look cute. So anything else that I think I'm missing? And maybe this one could use, because I still have this little snippet, maybe I'll put that along there and add that underneath there somehow when I get going on things. So I was thinking that these would work perfectly for adding to the paper clips, and then I could add these to all of them. So my next step now is going to be, I will go ahead and attach these to the paper clips off camera because you guys don't need to watch that. And I'm going to also go ahead and glue everything down that you see right here, and then I'll go ahead and show you what everything looks like. So I will be back shortly. So I'm back and I finished gluing everything down. A couple of things I added a few more buttons to, and then I also went ahead and added the dangles. And again, this is what I did for the dangles. I just added a piece of some beading that I had picked up at Hobby Lobby. It was a long chain, and I just, you know, took it apart and just added a couple of pieces to the bottom of a paper clip. Pretty easy. You just take the little eyelet thing there and you stick the paper clip in it. So I did that for all of these, and so I'm going to hold them up and show you guys, but I'm really happy with what I got accomplished today. You know, I have these 9 sitting in front of you. I have another 4 started that I can use to decorate later, and then I also have 2 more circles of music paper that I can use. And so I'll show you what everything looks like, and then just a few closing thoughts. So here was the one with the key that I finished. And I did not decorate the back sides for right now. Again, I plan on using these all on bags, but if I were to use them on a top of a journal page, I would definitely decorate the back side or put a little something on it. And then I would probably omit the bigger pieces, like here. This was a little bingo piece. This one's pretty thick, so I probably wouldn't have put that one on there. But the rest of it I think would handle nicely into a junk journal. Here was this one. I love how this one turned out. I think that one's kind of elegant, yet it's vintage and shabby at the same time. Love the little cameo. And then this one I did have this little flower that came off of an applique from a long time ago, so I went ahead and added that. This one, I did change the orientation a little bit when I decided to glue it down. I had the flowers more at an angle, and I decided I liked them better there with the sentiment up there, and I went ahead and added a little button to that one also. I do like how this one turned out also. See, this one, I did end up adding another doily. This one's a crochet doily that my mom made me. And then I added this little wood button, and it does have like the Eiffel Tower on it, which goes well with, you know, the word Paris is on there, and it's a French word on there. So I did go ahead and add that button to that one while I was gluing stuff down. Here is the one with the violin, which I think this is really cool. I like how that one turned out. And then here's the one with the little flower. And this one I did go ahead and add the little pink ribbon when I was gluing everything down. Here is the one with the little vintage lady on it. And here was this last one. And I think this is probably my favorite one out of the whole bunch. I love how that one turned out. And again, my plan is to use them on the tops of little paper bags when I gift them to people. And then I would attach this. And down here, I think I would decorate the bag a little bit more. Like I might add, you know, maybe some, probably text paper, because I think if you were to add music paper, that might be a little too much. And then do some stamping on the bag also, just so that there was a little bit more character to the bag. So I'm not quite done with these. I'll probably, you know, one day sit down and decorate the bags. I don't know how many of these I have in my stash, but decorate the bags so that they're ready to go in some sort of happy mail. And again, also for the people that are doing junk journaling, instead of using them as bag toppers, you could definitely use them as page toppers in your journals. And add that, or you could add some other type of paper clip. Another idea that I had when I was going through my stash, I do have these bulldog clips. And again, in a swap, my friend Deanna Marie had glued on some charms on. So this is something that she had created, a couple of these right here. But she had glued them onto a bulldog clip. And you could also use this to hold it on at the top of the page or on the top of a bag. So that would be really cute. And when I was going through my stash of gems, I did find this one right here. And it's pink, so I think this one would look really nice. You know, it would look nice with this one or this one, the flower one up here, even this Paris one. So I might glue that down onto a bulldog clip, and then I would have that available for one of these instead of using the paper clip. But I did want to share that idea with you guys. So, so that was kind of my final thoughts or final ideas. And then also too, if you're using these in a junk journal, instead of using them as a page topper, you could also hook them onto the side of a page and do a side one, and you could use it as a tuck that way. Again, you could attach a paper clip, or if you wanted to actually attach it, you would just put a little bit of glue right next to the fold line on both sides, and then you would have it as a tuck spot. You know, none of these are decorated the right way, but you would just turn it this way, and it would look really cute also in a journal. You know, here's this one, if it was, you know, this way. I mean, that would be really cute, I think, in a journal. So I think that's everything for today that I wanted to accomplish. And I would love to hear which one your favorite was out of the grouping. Just kind of curious what people think. Again, I think this one's my favorite one, is this one right here. I like all of them. I'm happy with all of them. But that one's probably my most favorite, I think. So until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.